Hi Sherlock's Middle East. I'm Carla Baz and welcome to my home. أهلا وسهلا. This house is a one-story traditional Dubai house from the 80s. This is our living room, which is the first room you access once you enter the house. So one of the first pieces we designed when we got into this house is this custom-built bookcase. It's a good storage unit, and at the same time, we have so many books, and I just thought it would be a nice way to display them. I work from home, so I'm really about having versatility in spaces. So whether I'm on the couch or sitting on the dining room, it's really about inhabiting the space well. You will notice beautiful accents on this bookcase, which were paintings by my good friend Shafa Gaddar. I always try to find quirky ways to kind of display the art in the house to give it a bit of unexpectedness. So this also belongs to my husband's collection. They're Japanese emakis, which we decided to display in a frameless manner. The house, is kind of like a melting pot of different civilizations because every time we travel, we tend to bring back something from our travels to make the house more personal and to have reminders of our time together. And next to this couch, you have one of my favorite design pieces by India Mahdavi, which is the Don Giovanni table lamp. The carpets are basically what brings color to the house. So we've opted for very neutral, earthy colors, and the pop of color comes from the artwork, the design pieces, and the antique carpets that are spread all around the house. So this is the pièce maîtresse of the house and my personal favorite, which is designed by my very good friends, Carlo and Marilyn Masroud. I'm a lighting and furniture designer from Beirut. So it was very important for me to surround myself with pieces from back home that were designed by fellow designers whose work I admire. This is an absolute favorite. Moving on to another favorite designed by superstar Emirati designer Omar El Girig. This is our spike coat hanger, which as you see is very functional in this home. And in the background, you can see a beautiful floor lamp designed by a dear friend from the Netherlands, Yosha, from Studio Yosha. Behind me, you'll see an installation of etchings from the 18th century showcasing folkloric costumes from all around the world that my husband purchased in a gallery in San Francisco. Something interesting you'll find in the house is there are a lot of pairs of things or things in twos. I work a lot with my husband, who's not at all in the same field, but we really take everything as a joint project. And so there are little ways to honor a bit our couple in the house. This was a gift on our wedding, a beautiful sculpture showcasing a couple by Chantal Lacou, a French artist. You also have our papier-mâché dogs, which were gifted to us by Carlo and Mario, our very good twin friends. We got married in Thailand, so we got two kind of reminders, which were the offering baskets and these two monk sculptures. So you'll always find things in twos here, and the symmetry is quite important, probably coming from this whole like Arabic geometric influence, where things need to kind of mirror each other, along with the oyster ceiling light fixtures. This is one of my favorite pieces from our studio. So it's a hay bench. It's a piece that's entirely handmade by very gifted artisans in Lebanon. It's in natural oak wood with hand-woven cane top, displayed and showcased at the MUDAC last year at a retrospective on Lebanese designers. Moving on to my husband's study, where we have this beautiful piece of furniture designed by Stéphanie Msalim. It's a wonderful piece of craftsmanship, entirely handmade in walnut wood with leather. And right behind you will see a couple of antique chest drawers that we purchased in Bangkok, as well as this other couple by Bruno Catalano called The Travelers. This is a painting that we got in south of France by Philippe Simil, who's a collage mixed media artist, kind of tackles political topics with humor. We chose to put the study in this room because it's adjacent to the family room, and at the same time, it's by these windows, by the water, so it does give you a relaxing setting when you need to do some serious work. Welcome to our family room. So this is where we will typically sit in the morning, have our coffee, spend some time with our son before the day starts. I love it because it's super luminous. There's a view on the pool. You know, it's a good way to start your day. Here we have these beautiful paintings by Isa Haloum, a Lebanese painter. And next to them are those two ceramic pieces by Nadine Rufail that I absolutely love. And here you have potentially the most famous piece of my studio, which is the Minerals Table series. It's a series that we developed end of 2017, and it's a collection of marble tables with resin inlay, entirely produced in Lebanon. And you have the oyster pieces again on the ceiling. So here we have the weekend hangout spot, the pool terrace. The space was quite narrow, so we really tried to furnish it in a way that could optimize the space. So we have the lounging chairs, and I've also created 2 mattresses so that you can frame the pool in a nice way. Over there, we have the barbecue area where you sit down for lunch with friends. These sculptures, which I always get asked about, were actually found while we were buying hardware equipment from Ace. So just a reminder that if you put things in the right context, it can really look much more elaborate. We have 7-8 months a year where the weather is really nice and you can really enjoy the outdoors. And so this is like a really nice kind of window into what weekends in Jumeirah look like. This is our bedroom. I've used more bold colors in the guest bedroom and our bedroom because you spend less time in it, whereas the common areas are much more, you know, in neutral colors, and we let the art and the design pieces pop out. So this is our chill haven. Above the bed, we have a painting by Lebanese artist Hassan Jouni, and it shows Ain Mreise, which is where my husband's from. So a little reminder from home. So on the opposite side of the bed, we have this gallery wall that shows a few other paintings. This beautiful painting by Omar Unsi, this beautiful etching by Alia Mzannar, who's a dear friend and a fellow Lebanese designer. She designs beautiful jewelry. A portrait that was commissioned of my son when he was 2 years old, and a painting by Vasseur. And behind me, you have a beautiful piece by David et Nicolas, a valet de chambre. So after a long day, you just drop your suit and get into more comfortable clothes. And over here, we have the Cross My Heart love seat, which was designed by me, a piece that I think is very inviting and gives a bit of a boudoir-esque feeling to the bedroom. Over here, we have the Monarch floor lamp, which is an iteration from an existing piece of our collection, which are table lamps. We've changed it up a bit, so it's in marble, brass, and instead of having a brass dome, we added the fabric, which I feel gives it more warmth, especially in a bedroom setting. From our bedroom, you have this long corridor that takes you to the children's bedrooms. And the corridor is very much about, you know, everything that's very intimate and family childlike. This was actually the first piece I ever designed when I moved back from the UK to Lebanon. I was very much interested in craftsmanship and the relationship between the craftsmen and their materials. It's an entirely hand-sculpted piece. Instead of having the plants or the flowers displayed on top of it, I actually wanted them to be integrated as a way to also bring nature in. On top, we have a four-hand collaboration between me and my son, so all of the arts that we've done together. Here we have what's going to probably be the room where I spend most of my time in the next few months, the nursery. I really wanted it to be inviting, naive, and cozy space. I picked this room to be the nursery because we have those beautiful, quaint little windows, so it doesn't have a lot of light, and it's quite, you know, soothing, especially for a little baby. And we decorated it with a lot of animals and colorful additions, just to bring a bit of fantasy to this little cute bedroom. So at the end of the corridor, we have the Mikado bookshelf, which is another piece by our studio. It's handmade in marble with glass, and I'm really all about not having design be too serious, so I've chosen to put it in the corridor for it to host my son's extensive book collection. Just tucked in behind, we have a beautiful collection that's spread out all over the corridor of these 90s original acrylic paintings from Hong Kong. You can't find these today, and I really hold them very dearly. They were a gift from my mom. I just feel like they're naive, childlike, atmosphere really, contributes to conferring to this place its homeliness and playfulness. Across from them, we have these cute illustrations by illustrator Mario Jaher, which were a gift from my mother-in-law. So over here, we've reached the end of the corridor. We've decided to transform this extra bedroom into our home gym. We've chosen a very minimal decor. So we have the techno gym bench, has a built-in, set of equipment and different exercises wrapped into one piece, which is quite compact and allows us to optimize the space quite nicely. Keep in line with the colors of the room with this organic sisal rug that matches the skirting. It's a very simple shelving unit in oak woods, which I've adorned with a beautiful find from H&M Home. And a reminder, you can find some pretty cool pieces in mainstream stores, so don't be afraid to mix things up. Here we have a very quaint, dated 80s Jumeirah kitchen. I really love because it's really authentic, so I didn't change anything about it. I only replaced the handles so that it would have a more clean and subdued aesthetic. Behind me, you'll see some artwork that I've done in combination with my son and nieces, and a few posters that my husband got from Japan. So here we have our guest bedroom. We've opted for a very warm palette of colors since it's meant for a shorter stay. You can be a bit bolder with your choices. We went with this ochre yellowish color for the wall. The bedroom was initially quite large, and so I didn't know exactly how I wanted to organize it. And I decided to create this divider wall part just so that it could separate, the living area from the closet area as a way to make it a bit more intimate and also keep the bed in a more, secluded side of the room. On top of them, our oyster wall-mounted fixtures, framing a beautiful painting by one of my favorite Lebanese artists, Hannibal Srouji. Here we have a throw by Spanish designer Natalia Vico. Given the color palette of the room, you'll find more of like Latin American influence with this beautiful painting by Argentinian artist Antonio Segui. And behind me is another painting by Philippe Simil, which you will remember from the study. And the living room area here is really meant to be very understated, very inviting. We've just, put a shelf against the wall with a few books to invite our guests for some bedtime reading or some time to relax in front of the window overlooking the courtyard area. Across from the couch, you have the pair of Cross My Heart armchairs, which frame the bay window that gives you direct access to the courtyard whenever they feel like it. So this is our courtyard, which is the beating heart of the house and where you'll find us throughout the cooler months. We've landscaped it ourselves, so we've separated it between the hosting space and then the more free play space for the kids. It really catches a lot of sun, and in the afternoon during golden hour, it's just perfect. Here you have our oyster lighting in the outdoor iteration, which is a vert de gris oxidized patina. And it adds to the whole organic feel of the courtyard. Thank you, Sheer Luxe Middle East, for joining me today on my home tour. I hope you enjoyed it, and it was lovely having you. Hope to see you around the neighborhood soon.